Hi everyone. Discussion forum activities have been part of online, distant, and remote course delivery for a long time. In fact, forums were one of the earliest communication tools integrated into course management systems. In this short video, we'll discuss some structured activities and ideas to enhance communication during the course, to forge learning connections among students, and how to use discussions as collaborative tools and for critical discourse. Let's get started. Discussion forums. Everyone knows what that term means. It's a very convenient method of asynchronous communication, leaving your thoughts and ideas online for others to read and respond to later on. However, it's well documented that discussion forums have been overused and that discussion fatigue is common. So if you are experiencing fatigue in reading and responding to and grading forums in your courses, we hope our ideas for how to use discussion at strategic points and as assignments that promote student engagement, analytical thinking, and conversation will help. The research shows that typically, several students will always dominate the discussion in a course and that some will always be reticent or only post the required number of responses. Since this is typical online student behavior, there is no need to penalize quieter students, nor the overly enthusiastic. A strategy that can work for both are required word limits or a range of word limits, while at the same time providing practice in concise writing and critical analysis. Another method to avoid volumes of responses can be assignments that are structured activities and include critical reflective questions. Structured activities can also foster a sense of community and collaboration. If you as instructor can model respectful resolution of conflicting ideas, you will show your students how to discuss conflicting perspectives. Such modeling helps to reduce the tendency toward interpersonal attack, which can cause conflict that cannot always be resolved. I do want to mention that there is some criticism about discussion forums which remain superficial and don't really engage in critical perspectives. It will be helpful if you would model the appropriate depth of discussion, challenge, and critical thought expected in your course. Research shows that student participation in forums does increase over time, so do allow for discussions to grow. However, you do not need to have a discussion activity every week. Neither do discussions need to occur through the entire course. Structured required forum assignments that are tied to a unit or two of content are quite acceptable. We'll talk about how to grade forums so that they're not overly onerous for you and that set expectations for students on the last slide. It's quite possible to use discussion for a variety of structured activities. Some ideas that come to mind are joint presentations, online debates, pose a problem, pick a problem, and role play. A strategy that might work to draw out the quieter student is to accept multimedia submissions, short videos, audio clips, photo collages, sample submissions are ideas that might work well for your course. We haven't talked yet about the extent of your participation in forums. Students do appreciate hearing from the instructor and not only from TAs. The research shows students appreciate your involvement in modeling appropriate responses, demonstrating how to synthesize sources, and that your responses be timely. Timely, however, does not mean that you need to respond within the hour. Simply state what your response time will be beforehand. So when you are planning your course, consider when you will have time to monitor the discussions as a guide for where to insert forum activities. Now to grading. Consider grading for quality responses that extend the conversation, build on others' comments, or pose critical thoughts and questions. You do not need to reward "I agree" statements and may instead require students to post earlier than the deadline instead of waiting till the last minute. It will be helpful to require students to stick to the range of required word limits. You do not have to grade every forum response. Instead, you can ask for a sampling of the student's best work or a summary of their responses written by them, or grade their contributions in a collaborative assignment. If you adopt some of the strategies talked about in this video, we believe you'll find that forums are manageable and contribute to greater student learning. Please check out our instructor guides for more information on many other instructional strategies.